Step on board this 67 Scout with 3,000 horsepower and a top speed of 60 miles an hour. Howdy everybody, Forrest Anderson here, also known as Your Yacht Guy. Let's check out this brand new 670 LXS Scout. 16 feet 2-inch beam here without the fold down wings. You put these terraces down and look at the size of this cockpit. It would be impossible to not entertain a very large group right here in the cockpit. Aft-facing mezzanine, forward-facing sleigh seat, and all the amenities you could ever ask for. Sink here, storage on both sides. We have a Kenyon cooktop over here on the port side of the boat. All of these lids will stay locked up, entertain back here, and how could your guests ever complain about being on board this beautiful 67-foot outboard center console yacht. Although the star of the show usually is the 3,000 horsepower back there with the 5,600 Mercs, I want to touch on a couple of the usability features here in the cockpit. Nice storage locker here for, these guys have life jackets in there, would be a great spot for that. It does look like it is drained, and as per any Scout, all of your hatches are all finished fiberglass, both on the top and bottom, which is very nice. But looks like that's drained, so you could throw a bunch of drinks in there if you wanted to. We have fish boxes on both sides, and then here is a lazarette hatch that is also like mechanical access. Very easy to get down there and work if you needed to. Just a couple of steps, and another great spot to store life jackets and your generators down there. They have a shop vac in there right now and a tool bag. So great spot to throw some stuff, and then it's out of your way under the aft-facing mezzanine, and don't have to think about it. Maybe if you have a captain, they would go down there and check your generator. This is also an articulating rod holder set here. When it goes down, aft sunshade comes out and gives all of this beautiful area quite a bit of protection. You also have just in front of that a fold down Garmin. So if you hook this boat up with the Starlink or whatever, you could certainly run YouTube TV or not miss a game right there. Or even if you're using this as a fishing boat, use that as your depth sounder, and then everybody back here can see the fish right there live without having to walk towards the helm. Although when you get to the helm, you'll see you have more than enough screens there. So let's go check out a little bit forward on the 670 LXS. Entertainment was clearly at the forefront of the guys' minds in Summerville, South Carolina when they designed this 670. This window will drop down and become a large bar area here. 3 beautiful bar stools here, beautiful teak tables, and really you can entertain a galore of people just right here. If for some reason the weather turned less than desirable, you could hang out right here, or even in the sun on a nice hot day. Come in here, enjoy the air conditioning that is throughout, and then get the shade from this massive hardtop. This hardtop is bigger than more than half of the boats that Scout built. I thought that was tremendous. We actually got to see this boat while it was still in kind of the foam process, if you will. A lot of the stuff wasn't built yet, and it was just kind of templated. So it's really, really cool to now see this finished product. Speaking of finished product, you guys know me. I'm a big fan and advocate for a good helm. So, aft docking station. We are on nearly a 70-foot boat after all, guys. So an aft docking station is quite desirable. And we got this question a few times so far at the Palm Beach Boat Show. You do have an aft docking station right here, Mercury joystick. So you can control all 5 of those Mercury 600s back there just with this joystick. And then, again, we are on a nearly 70-foot boat. Very hard to believe this is a fully walk-around 70-foot boat. But you do have a bow and stern thruster here. So use your joystick as kind of your fore and aft movement and momentum. And then your side-to-side movement is from this beautiful side power bow and stern thruster. This side power bow and stern thruster is also progressive, and it has the hold function. So let's say you have a current coming off the dock, pushing you off the dock, you can push and hold at different levels of percentages, 10, 20, 30, whatever your desired level is, and that will actually keep the boat snugged up against the dock. You walk away, give out your dock lines, really would be beneficial if, let's say, you had to do a port side tie on this boat. Starboard side, you're right where you need to be. So you could easily just tap over, go give that line, tap over, go towards the bow, and make docking a dream. Again, guys, we're on nearly a 70-foot boat, 66 feet, 9 inches. We'll go through some technical data here just because we're talking about 3 feet, 4 inches is full draft, 1,500 gallons of gas for your outboards, 180 gallons or so of diesel. Don't hold me to that. That was a rough estimate. And with these 3,000 horsepower back there, top end is about 60 miles an hour on this boat. 71,000 pounds, and we're getting this boat up to 60 miles an hour. I was mind blown. Flabbergasted. This is the same pop-up cleat that we notice on some of the very large yachts here, the very large motor yachts that are in this boat show. Same cleat, so good job. Kudos to Scout for integrating the yacht feel into this sport yacht that they have designed. Really high, safe gunnels here. Even though we have a couple of steps, it is still more than adequate to keep the dogs, the kids, the pets, whatever you bring on board safe, including that drunk friend that has one too many. But look at this, guys. Up here on the bow, the hanging out arrangements are endless, it seems like. All 3 of these have pop-up backrests. You can make this a very enjoyable lounge here. 3 cup holders on both sides. And then forward, you're almost down and in and enjoying a drop-in settee here, if you will. This is a very nice lounge. Both port and starboard have the access or the ability to lay fully out. That center seat is more like a seat, but look at this beautiful teak table we have up here. Grab rails, very sturdy grab rails, and speakers galore. Look at the size of these speakers up here on the bow. I don't think you're gonna be missing the tunes when you're up here. Even at 60 miles an hour, I believe you'd be more than adequate to hear them. Show you guys the underside of a couple of hatches up here, because again, that is very important. Scout goes above and beyond to make sure that even the underside of, look at this, your anchor locker, windlass track here has finished fiberglass on the underside of that hatch. Tons of storage up here on both sides as well. We have a fender in there, a bucket, hose, that's just on this side. Check out what we have on the starboard side. Another fender, another bucket. That's pretty cool. It's got a drop-in spot for your bucket. Genius. Good jobs. Good job, Scout. Way to go. We also have some storage up here. Wow, there is storage everywhere, guys. That is incredible. We have a separate stereo control up here, and wow, we have a spot to charge our phone right here. That is a USB-C and a standard USB 2.0 up here. So you can charge your phone, control the radio. And why would you ever need to leave up on the bow of this beautiful boat? Maybe you have to yell back and tell them to slow down a little bit just because it's messing up your hair. Other than that, you would certainly not need to. Very nice razor lights integrated into that hardtop. You can see that's recessed, so that's not an afterthought. Way to go there. And look at the size of that sunroof up there, guys. That is a massive, massive sunroof that you have on the hardtop. Again, this hardtop is no small feat. And the sunroof is quite a significant sunroof at that. As we work our way aft here, both sides, port and starboard, have drop-down windows, which is going to allow you to really get some ventilation in there. That, along with that sunroof, you're gonna really open this boat up and get a ton of fresh air throughout. Step inside. Yes, I did say inside, guys. This has the heart and the DNA of a center console, but really has the luxurious comfortability of a yacht. This is very comfortable in here. As soon as we step inside, this is the kind of enclosed look, if you will. That'll drop down, your 2 windows will drop down, sunroof will open. So really, we can open this up, but right now it is beautiful. The guys that were moving this down from Summerville, South Carolina for this boat show said they were in some massive, massive following seas. They had this all enclosed, and whoever was at the helm, obviously you have to pull back a little bit when you get over the top of the wake, and you powered up a little bit when you're going up the wake. But They were making sandwiches, they were enjoying the AC and the comfortability of being inside this enclosed center console. What do you guys think of this look? Again, all the amenities you could ever ask for. We have a fold-down TV that comes out of the ceiling there, air conditioning galore, beautiful recessed lighting, an electric cooktop. We have 2 refrigerated drawers. One could be used as a freezer with an ice maker involved. We have a battery panel right as soon as we walk in, so that is very functional. Silverware, sink, you name it, this boat has it, and they really have thought of just about everything you could ever imagine. All right, guys, if you've ever watched a You Are Yacht Guy walkthrough video, I don't have to tell you what my favorite spot of any boat is. It is the helm. This is unbelievable, this helm here. I have more than enough, 2 massive Garmin displays over here on the starboard side. And then off to the port side, you have 2 additional very large Garmin displays. But you have everything you would need here. Your Mercury binnacle, your side power, proportional bow thruster and stern thruster. Not 1, but 2 wireless charging ports for your phone. Mercury display, your Mercury Skyhook integrated joystick there. You even have a console, if you will, or a glove compartment on your center console. I love it. Good job, good job, good job to the guys in Somerville. We have 4 captain seats here, all raised up and elevated, so give you that nice view. If for some reason you had people up there sitting and they're kind of in your way, you do still have a bow camera. So leaving the dock before we get up to that 60-mile-an-hour range, you can certainly see through this camera, as you can see here. So I have mentioned the 60-mile-an-hour top end quite a few times. So about mid 40-mile-an-hour range is where you're going to get your most efficient cruise. Going through a couple of different sets of props to really fine-tune that nautical mile range. So I don't have that information for you yet, but we do have some burn rates and stuff like that. DM us or comment on the video and I will send you that personally. Let's head on down into the atrium. And yes, I left my sunglasses on to prove a point here. Tons and tons and tons of natural light come through this atrium. If you wanted to, you push this button, this electric shade comes to about here. Actually, it stops right there. And this all becomes a shaded, very comfortable area. Again, comfort and use of space is really at the forefront here in designing this 670 LXS. Bring the entire fishing team or all of your friends along with you, as you have 2 double bunks on the starboard side of the boat, and then on the port you have an additional queen or full-size berth there. We're gonna save the best for last, that is the owner suite, and there are some surprises in there for you. Here is the VIP or main guest stateroom, and that does have ensuite access right there through a private door to this very well-equipped day head with a full stand-up shower. Rainfall shower head and wand become very yachty and pretty much a standard in the yachting industry. So nice to see that Scout is tagging along with that and really keeping up with the Joneses in the sense that they are keeping up with the yachting guys. So that is, as I mentioned, your primary guest stateroom, and then this would be consider maybe your crew stateroom, as it does have twin berths there, or great spot for the kids. Why not throw the kids back there? I know I wouldn't complain about sleeping on that couch as a kid though, either. All right, everybody, the moment you have all been waiting for. With just a push of a button, keep in mind, guys, we are on a boat with the DNA of a center console. Look at the size of this stateroom, everybody. You have separate access or separate head and shower here. We have the shower on the port side of the boat, all through that door, and then the head on the starboard side of the boat, right through this door. Very well equipped there. Storage galore. We have a flush mounted TV there, and the C-zone switching that Scout has really kind of fine-tuned and mastered all through your Garmin, so you can control just about anything, including your AC, which is what this is set for here. What do you think, guys? Is this really the inside of a center console? Kind of feels like we're inside of a 80-foot motor yacht. As we move a little bit aft, we're back in this atrium area, this entertainment area. And I did note the C-zone switching that is accessible, and just about everywhere you look on this boat, you can go through a Garmin screen and use the very nice C-zone switching to control your entire boat. Down here, we do have refrigerator, TV, storage. This one would be a trash can here in the center as it tilts out, and then storage in abundance just aft of that. Nespresso machine, again, more storage, and finally this can close and make this more of a movie style room if you wanted to, and as I mentioned, by just pushing a button. All right, I want your opinion. How did Scout do? What changes would you like to see, if any, on hull number 2, or should we just put your name on it as this one is laid out? Everybody, this is Forrest Anderson, also known as Your Yacht Guy. I thank you very much for tuning in.